Welcome back. After another episode, decided to do another stream for you guys. And I'm going to test to see if StreamYard will let me check out your comments without me constantly going back and forth. I realized after the fact that was probably not a great experience for most of you. Maybe it was. But for this, I just wanted to show you a little something. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to... Hold on a sec. Let me figure out a couple things while everyone dials back in here. Got something a little different this time. I don't think I've ever done this before. Oh. Boomer check? So, I might need your guys' help with something. It's not going to be a lot to ask, I don't think. I'm making sure I don't get any notifications because I don't want you guys to have to be burdened with that. Okay, we'll do that some other time. Thought this was just going to be a little rigamaroo. All right, well, oh, can you guys see me right now? Am I lagging out? Okay. Hey, Big Brain Content. Glad to see you again. Thank you for sticking with the episode, man. That's a true fan right there. Yeah, I thought the talk was pretty interesting. All right, let me set this up for you guys. I'm going to have to lean over a little bit. Excuse me. All right. I know it's a weekday too, so might not get our fireworks show that we got last week. We're going to get Google Slides. This is going to be my advice to you from one Zoomer to hopefully several. This is my pitch for college. I think you guys are going to like this. So I'll have YouTube backed up just in case this actually doesn't look the way I think it does. If it does look good, we might be in good shape. So, sorry for the lag here. Oh, I gotta, okay. Well, that looks pretty good. Okay, let me grab you guys. You're good. Much love, Ace. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you guys make all this worthwhile. You guys know that. This is all you guys, okay? Okay. So we got 1, 2. I'm going to reach over because although I have my mouse, I don't have the keyboard. The keyboard is still distant. I guess I need one of those gaming keyboards, the ones that light up. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's necessary for the show? Do I need a gaming chair? Do I need a... what else does the average Twitch streamer? You guys better not be consuming that content, okay? There's a very strict standard, and you got to be loyal to discipline when it comes to your content. I think the RPG lights are cringe. Yeah, there is sort of an ironic appeal to it. Maybe that's just because I've seen other people have it, you know. I think a friend of mine has it, so I don't want to be too rude, all right? I don't want to say that's the worst thing in the world. All right. Well, you guys are my priority, so I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to show you what I have here. All right. I don't want you guys thinking I'm just doing some random stream, because there is a utility to this. Here, I'm going to need to grab my, for those of you that are in college, you guys might be familiar with Canvas. And if you're not, you're about to be, because it's honestly not that bad. But I was just curious if you guys understand. Millennial? Nah, you're cool, man. Big brain content, it doesn't matter what you are. You're a cool dude. Appreciate your work. You got content. I don't think I'm going to be bringing that guy on, no offense. You know, he got his channel, he lost his channel, if I remember right, so that's pretty risky. All right, I've waited long enough. I'm going to show you what I got. All right, all right. So, I'm not going to lean on all you guys, but this is what we're dealing with. This is my pitch for school. So, like I said, it's not all cringe. There's still some flexibility that you guys would appreciate. I know a lot of people write off academia because it is very cringe. You can imagine the types, but I got to stay in, okay? I got to. But, you know, it's really not that bad. And I think that, you know, we've got some content here. And I actually, the funny thing is, because as of right now, it's an online semester. That's the other thing, too. It's online. So it's not too much of a burden. But the funny thing is, especially after doing our episode with Paul, I'm going to have to make a video, record it, and then send it to the teacher. So I was wondering what you guys think of that. Do you think you guys got any tips? You guys, you know, what type of content should I include in this? As you can see, I got some summary, mostly of the book before Leviathan, but I got some quotes, and I got some, you know, they teach you if you major in communications, they tell you that you're supposed to, not that this is like a groundbreaking rule, but you're supposed to not load up the PowerPoint, because you don't, I imagine it's because you don't want people staring at the words reading that would contradict the entire physical presentation. So instead, it's sort of an anecdote to kind of set you on your way to present it verbally. So it looks like I maybe I need some more content. That's the thing. But that's what I want to run by you guys. Tell me what you guys think. If there's even anybody watching, that is. So just wanted to test this out. Also, it's a test for the StreamYard, looking at these comments instead of switching over to the YouTube channel. I know that it looks like, you know, Inception with the background phasing out. Also, I want to see if, just want to see how this looks overall. So that's the plan. I guess also I want to check if during the week what kind of audience we get. I don't know. What else is anybody doing? Wednesday night? I'm just curious. So, oh man, how am I going to do this with no keyboard? So, I'm gonna test this too. Okay, so be nice. Okay, if you guys really do like the content on here, then I need you guys to level with me when I test this out. Okay, so I'm probably gonna add a few more things. This is my source over here. Or this is the other class. Excuse me. This is yet another thing. Although this isn't that hard. I got most of that done. You know, for anybody that's interested in my studies, and I'm sure you guys are. But listen, man, check it out. For anyone completely writing it off, look at what we got here, okay? Hear me out. Oh, are we lagging out a little bit here? Look, man, we got Thomas Aquinas. You guys know Hobbes. So it's not just 20th century positivist. It's not just semantics. Yo, look, we got Aaron McIntyre. Yo, we got NRX writers in here. That's crazy. So, pretty funny. But for me, what I pitched was Thomas Hobbes, and I think we're going to be set. You know, this is going to be recorded tonight, so I think it's going to be good. Oh, here, let me just test on YouTube. Does anyone here watch Red Letter Media? I can't recommend it enough. I don't know what it is too. It's such a simple format. Anyways, you know, someone said we should focus on critiquing pop culture, and so to stay true to that, I think. Can't recommend it enough. Oh, we're having a little echo here. One sec. I just want to see how this, if I'm missing anything. Okay, it looks like we're all good. So I imagine people see that title. It can sort of not be the most appealing thing. But, you know, you guys know already, Thomas Hobbes had the Machiavellian perspective. It would be what Schopenhauer's pessimism would be in political theory terms. Relationship. See, I can't be doing that during the recording. So hopefully I can filter out all my mistakes in this stream. Not that I'm berating you guys with that. But I just want to, you know, this seems like stuff that you guys are interested in too. So it's not like it's just a random homework assignment. This is stuff that's kind of in our interests. So I think that's a good introduction, and then I'm going to add some more about Leviathan. Although if I can explain this, I should probably add a little bit more quotes for that book, and then I guess this can apply to the similarities between the two books. I don't know if the first one is a book. It might be an essay. It might be just writings. You know, what would an article be from that time period, 17th century? So these are a lot of the themes. Somebody said on the last live stream that one of the things about Hobbes, I think it was Charlemagne, he talked about how, you know, some of the equality thing is a little too egalitarian. So I know John Locke talks about equality, and that's easy for him to say that during that specific point in time. So there's a way to say it, you know. You don't want to be just this edgelord. There's really no virtue in that. A lot of this stuff is academic. Maybe that's also a little off-putting. So I guess if I'm sharing my screen, that's a little. So I guess either way, I would have to look at the YouTube or I would have to look over here. Either way, I'm sharing my screen. So I guess it's the same effect. It's tough to write an outline in the notes for each slide, then create the content of the slide based off those notes. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I think I didn't read this right. I found it is to write a rough outline in the notes for each slide and then create the content. Okay. Yeah, that might work. Yeah, I saw 2 student examples. One was audio, one was video. And it was the Aquinas one I liked. And then the Cicero one, I'm not sure if I follow that. So I will start off, you know, this is Thomas Hobbes, blah, blah, blah. In his first book, he talks about the relationship between men and community because he was going under the Machiavellian framework. He was more pessimistic and talked about people the same way that he does animals. And so it's the survival of the fittest mentality. Society is bound by a contract, specifically the social contract. And he believed in equality in a sort of egalitarian way. Selfish ad. Okay. See, the thing about this outline is I wrote this a few hours ago, and so I may be out of sync a little bit here. Selfish appetite. Oh, okay. He was talking about how one of the impulses of man is its selfish appetite. And so in order to conquer your appetite, you would have to fall out of your habits. And many will fail, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean it's impossible. And then he talks about looking at society as competition. So when we were talking about, I'm not going to say this, of course, because this wouldn't sync up or be relevant to the class. But as an example to you guys, the audience, in free market economics, they see everything in terms of dollars and cents. And so this sort of reduces society to an economic mindset, which commodifies everything. So I can not say that, but just talk about, you know, looking at society through that lens is very reductive, yada, yada. In Leviathan, he says one of the ways that we're all equal is every man has desire, fear, and hope. He also talks about body and mind being sort of this framework of how men exist on a default level. Kind of how John Locke talks about that too. Social aspect. Yeah, it seems like I'm also going to be repeating some things. Competition in society, social aspect of society. So the other thing too is he says that people don't look at society as a community. They see it as themselves as a cog in the machine, and society is the machine. So that social aspect of society is sort of neglected. And then I really don't want this to sound robotic too. That's the other thing. A lot of these Whether I agree with the other students or not, it did seem to kind of flow. So, I mean, I can't just... I'm trying to remember. I also did a Hegel paper, which flowed really well, but it wasn't really in this format. Let me pull up the Hegel paper. You guys might be interested in that. I also need it to... Yeah, here. So I'm going to shift to... Okay, so it'll just be me. Let me find my Hegel paper in my Google Docs. I guess I should have pulled that up instead of... I have notes for the other assignment, but I'm honestly not that worried about it. Yeah, if you guys are Zoomers, I want to know if you guys are students too. That's the other thing I'm curious. You know, who is my audience right now? Who are you guys? I know a lot of you came from Academic Agent, I'm guessing, so I don't really know what his audience is per se. Oh, where's the Hegel? Oh, okay, here we go. This paper was Hegel and Predecessors. So, yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to react to this. Let's see, we got an engineer. We have an artist. See, you guys are on top of it, man. You guys... My audience isn't just some random group of people, man, all right? Okay, let me share this. I hope this isn't too cringe. This is a few months old, all right? So if it's not up to speed, just... All right, all right. Sorry, we're experiencing some lag. All right, so... Is this what I'm trying to remember if this was what the speech was? I think it would seem like it was a lot different. No, I think this was the essay. Although this might help me frame everything. So we get into Hegel's Circle of Circles, the Hegelian dialectics. What else we got? Man, this isn't... Am I going to be able to use this? Yeah, this one's more wordy. I'm not going to be able to... Unless I can find the other one. I think I have the other one. Let me see. The other one was... I don't know. This one's very academic. I'm trying to find the one that's more... It's... How do you say it? It's more off the cuff. I'm just... It's like if I could explain it to you right now, but I got to find... I got to go to last semester. So that's interesting. If you guys want to argue about anything in the chat, I'll catch up with you guys by all means. What is this, November? No, we got to go back. Oh man, what? Is there more? Okay. When did I even... Okay, that's this. Yeah, another tip is I should probably title my documents. And that's another disadvantage. That's probably a common sense, but I guess... Okay, I found the... I thought this would have been one I would have... Oh, man. When even was that? That's pretty funny. All right, I think we're going to test this pretty soon. Here, I bet I can narrow down the date because I have... What I found was when I... Okay, student reading. Let me see what this is. Okay. So it was in September. So I've narrowed it down. You never took a humanities class. Is that what they're called? Humanities and arts. What else do they call philosophy courses? Are they different? I wonder how different. See, these are the kind of things... It sort of helps if you are a student. You can kind of figure your way around these things. All right, let me scroll. All right, we're getting there. Because I can't imagine I opened this since. Can I just... Here, I'm going to open a... Nope. Here, I think if I go down... Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, man. What? You've got to be freaking kidding me. Is this it? This is the 15th. Yeah, this is funny. Okay, I'm glad I found this. Oh, perfect. See? Wasn't so bad. All right. I even put all right. I wrote that in my notes. Listen, man, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do. All right, check this out. So this is me trying to remind... Oh, whoops. This is me trying to remind myself how to give my presentation. So, all right, it's written out. So Hegel's philosophy of history combines phenomenology of spirit, and then it's also philosophy of right, how nations and people make up society based on their role in it. It was tough to find short quotes on some of these. Okay, a little bit of humor. Trying to get the teacher on my side. Before the first quote, he talks about the Geist, excuse me, and understanding it in itself, specifically talking about perfection and educating people about it. The first quote, because we needed at least 3 quotes, I think was the requirement. Those who reject it, spirit that is, has remained. Oh wow, interesting developments happening. Might be bringing a very cool speaker onto campus. So anyways, so I say this quote. I don't have I've got no shortage of quotes, so that won't be an issue. He's saying spirit is the centerpiece when talking about humanity as a whole. When he says those who reject, what? When he says those who reject, he's probably, because I didn't read the quote. He's probably referring to other philosophers like David Hume, who is very cringe skeptic, sower of doubt, favor the material world over a spiritual one, which is a cope. If you're, well, anyways, forget I said anything. Hegel is holding on to the Geist as a way of making sense of history. He's also keeping religion as an important aspect, while others are secular. See, do you see kind of the reviving the religion that was being neglected during the Enlightenment, trying to normalize that? See, this isn't a nasty comment. This is just a philosophical take that you can say in class to kind of this sort of categorical explanation. You're not just, people aren't going to wonder who you are because you say that. The next quote is yada yada. So establishing that one person and spirit linked. Establishing that one person and spirit linked, but because of perception, it's hard to figure that out. I don't know why that's in bold. And then once they realize it, they can become a free autonomous person. And he moves on to the next premise, which is a nation. So, I forgot that was part of it. So the same logic that applies to individuals is also true on a national level. The best example is the Lord Bondsman hierarchy. Being aware of the concept of kings and slaves, you start to understand, and people can be educated if they realize what makes up a nation. And so another quote, and this goes back to the quote, you can become self-aware, maybe not sovereign, but using the quote from earlier, realizing what a nation and the role that people play in it, not looking at people in the state as the same thing. You can kind of tie a little bit of this to Hobbes. And I think he's confirming, because we didn't talk about Hobbes last semester. And I think he's confirming that many people don't realize their full potential in the scope of his theory, that people are on their way to realizing, because we talked about Schopenhauer's will. Looking at nations, empires as part of legacy that's leading to something like history. Instead of looking at history as linear in action, it's action and reaction. People kind of like the social contract is sort of this dichotomy between revolution and sort of monarchy, I guess. People can be ignorant or a revolution. I don't know why there's typos or lack of words. Revolutionaries, I think this gets into the circle of circles idea, seeing the hierarchy in society where people play a role or try to challenge their role and create a new era in history, or accept their role, continuing to be a bondsman, either knowingly or unknowingly, or just be a normal person. That should also be in here. It's not a dichotomy. There's this very like Marvel Cinematic Universe lens of the world where everybody is the main character in a movie. And in this speech, it sounds like I'm advocating for that, but I don't believe that. In a way, he argues there's 2 different groups of people between knowing their role in society, which will probably be the case for most people at the time. This was the 19th century. Greek, Roman section of the timeline. Some are free, others are slaves, being bondsmen. not realizing it. The second stage is using reason to find individuality. Okay, so that does help me out, because I was basically just going to read all this in a linear fashion. So I guess we'll start with the first book, and then, so I should move this up. I should move this right here. I'm going to shift back and forth because that's going to look fine. So this can be down here. This can be like a summary. Yeah, we're getting a little organized. We're losing viewers. Yeah, I don't blame you guys. This isn't that bad as far as the assignment. Okay. I never understood that you could be born into a social contract. A contract requires two consenting parties, and it's impossible to consent to something you are born into. Well, I don't know. I mean, you could say the same thing about common sense, right? Do you consciously, I'm really emphasizing on the social part of what you're saying. The contract is dependent on society. So, I mean, on a technical level, is it like someone who doesn't even realize their role in society? You could argue that, well, that person never agreed to have, let's say he's, working a job. Does he understand what that entails, or is he just kind of going along, getting along? I don't know. I think I'd push back against that comment, generally speaking. Like when Aristotle talks about how women don't understand certain things, it's not a misogynist perspective. He's saying it as is. When people say that, and a friend of mine helped me out with this, but I guess I made the mistake of saying that Spangler's outlook on society is very pessimistic, and he said, well, it's not really pessimistic, it's just, there's a lot of bad things in society, and so if you talk about that, people project that you're interested in that for an ulterior motive reason. Obviously there's a time and a place, but I don't know, the idea that, what was I saying? Oh, when Aristotle says something against women, I don't even think Aristotle hates women, or, a lot of philosophers that talk about, Schopenhauer's infamous On Women article. There's stuff in there that men can't be the things that women do. So it's not just this condemnation of the other gender. It's more of just recognizing the roles in society. I remember I told my teacher that, and he was pretty receptive to it. So I know that this isn't like a groundbreaking take, but to kind of link with your comment about the social contract, I don't think that because everyone isn't like physically writing down on a document, I consent, the government, the government does their thing, I do my thing. I don't think you need that for it to qualify as a social contract. I don't know. Is that a cringe take? Yeah, gaslights. Yeah, you're gaslighting me, man. You're making me. I'm gonna have to do this whole PowerPoint because of this comment. I'm gonna. Thought I had it all figured out, and then one poster. Anyways. See, that was like, okay, here's the other thing is timing. This has to be between 5 and 10 minutes. And I think I can go a little over 5. I mean, I can talk about this stuff. I think from an entry-level perspective, I think I can go off in a sense for a good amount of time, but I want it to be relevant. I want it to be dialed in. You know, I don't think I can even mention Machiavellian because the Machiavellian perspective, because that's not really part of the course. So I don't want to like show off, you know. I don't want to put pride into this. I mean, I want to be able to do it appropriately and get the good grade. So I just want to make sure I'm dialed in. This isn't due to tomorrow, but because I'm being responsible, I want to run this by you guys. My philosophy audience, man, you guys got to help me out here. So you guys might be the key to me getting over the line, me getting a grade. So I'll let you guys know how it goes in the next stream, probably during the weekend. We deal with a lot of contracts, true. Your engineer brain, yeah, you know, that could definitely contribute. If you're thinking mechanically, you know, sometimes you got to step out of that. I don't know if you can. Yo, PowerPoints. Yeah, PowerPoints are fun. Did I miss some of you guys? Yeah, well, if you just got here, infantry, this is our topic. Maybe you can help us out. Me and the audience are trying to slug it out. You know, I also got I gave a presentation on Hegel last semester. And so I'm trying to, because the teacher basically said that format is appropriate for this presentation. I have to give him a 5 to 10 minute explanation video on Thomas Hobbes using these 2 books, explaining the ideas in these books. And I feel like I got the ideas down, but I want to communicate them smoothly. So I'm worried about getting sidetracked or getting brain fog. Like, for example, you know, the selfish appetite line. I read that from a line in here, and he said that man can overcome his well, he kind of made it sound like it's very difficult, but many will fail to overcome their appetite. I believe men can do it. And so I have to sort of ride that line, you know, you guys being fans of the show, I can't just go full on political in this presentation. I remember even when I brought up the social contract, my explanation, as I said, it's a relationship between the man and the state, basically. And he said, "Oh, so you're taking the political route?" And it's like, "Oh, well, that's always been my context for the social contract." And he's like, "Well, a social contract can apply to a lot of other areas." So I just, you know, I gotta reel it in. Anyways, and I think I got most of it done. I'm trying to see what else. So I'm also going to be doing like a rough draft recording with you guys. So if you guys are still here, I'd appreciate the feedback. And I'll have to start it at the top of one of these minutes here. So I guess I could do a test. Here, we'll start right now. Be nice. All right, my section was Thomas Hobbes, specifically these two books, narrated by me. In the first book, he talks about the relationship between man and the community as a whole. Society is bound by a contract, more specifically the social contract. And the way that we know this is because under Hobbes's framework, equality is defined by the similarities between men and their fellow men in society and the roles that they play in it. Men, under Hobbes's perspective, sees man as very selfish. He sees it in the same context as animals doing the survival for the fittest. And in order for men to operate in society, they are driven by an appetite, and many are, cogs in the machine. Society is also very competitive. So when workers are working consistently, they are not thinking about the greater good of society. They are thinking about things like honor and personal gains in the society. So something like that. Yeah. Some of the quotes from the first book were, I could tie that in. So gain for glory, not so much for the love of our fellows. So I'll switch back and forth right there. He also claims, when I say that it's a little pessimistic, I'll say, for one of the quotes, no society can be great or lasting, which begins from vainglory. And for the consistent comparison, okay. I hope nobody will doubt the man carried by nature. So I can use like these two quotes. I hope nobody will doubt, but that men would much more greedily be carried by nature if all fear were removed to obtain dominion than to gain society. So yeah. Civil societies are not mere meetings. Okay, when I talk about the contract, I'll go down here. And then when I'm talking about the appetite, I can compare it. He compares it to like lust. And so that threatens people. So then we'll move on to Leviathan. In Leviathan, he more specifically lays out this in political theory terms. He talks about one of the aspects that unites a lot of people is everybody has desire, fear, and hope. Another distinction he lays out is body and mind. He talks about how a lot of people, in his vision, is a blank slate, and so a lot of people can be reduced to this sort of, default character. I'll think of something. And so when he's talking about society, he's talking about how the social aspects are often neglected, and a lot of people are just not looking at the greater whole. See, that sounds kind of repetitive. I don't know. What's the other slide? One of the themes throughout both of the texts is Hobbes's emphasis on equality. So when he's talking about man, whether it's in the government or outside, man naturally has certain impulses, and it is up to man to overcome them. He is looking at society in a cost-benefit analysis. He is also driven by fear, whether it's fear of the government, fear of his boss, fear of his family, working. Fear is a common thread in a lot of Hobbes's writing. Man is to bring back what he said about man being self-serving, it's also self-preserving. So not just in a selfish context, man is also, to bring it back to the animal analogy, man kind of operates in a similar way because he is providing shelter and food to his family, and he's kind of only looking in that context. So the community may be gone, but even on some level, it is sort of intact. And because this applies to man, the social contract applies to everyone. And so he makes that leap that if one man thinks like this, then most people probably do. And then this is he's kind of playing into relativism, which isn't really part of the course. Well, how am I on time? Okay, that was almost 5 minutes. Wow, that's pretty good. I may not have to add too much, honestly. Okay, I thought that wasn't, well, I guess technically it's not the requirement, so What did you think? So maybe we are equal in our need to conquer these feelings. Conquer these feelings. Yeah. That's pretty good. And that's equality in that sense really isn't that bad. We talk a lot on this, side of politics, what's going to unite people? Should it be this or that? And I think it should be Christianity. And Christianity does say, one of the things that binds us should be, the right kind of Christianity. And also, there is kind of it's a cool thing that we can kind of relate to everybody on this level. You know what I mean? I know we kind of scoff at egalitarianism, but that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about it, at least not in the modern sense. We're talking about people overcoming the differences in their lives. So there's nothing wrong with that kind of equality in that sense. I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say. So one thing I do want to do is make this nice and flashy. Man, you guys, I'm sorry I have to lean over. I guess I could do this here. I'm gonna deck out this presentation. We'll do it another time. We'll do another test. Get a good picture of our guy here. All right. Is it lagging for you guys? This will be a lot more enjoyable visually. Yeah. So I clearly have more quotes for one than the other. So I guess I can go through the reading again. Because, there is a lot of overlap. That first book kind of lays out a lot of the details. See, I got canvas. This is just, All right. All right. So this will be our background. Probably, this is probably not going to be the grade. I was a student who got good grades with low effort. It's an art, true. So from my viewpoint, the question is, how is that presentation graded? Is it just actual content or also manner of presentation? It's, I have to explain. I have to summarize those two books the way I did. I don't know if you saw me rehearsing there. So it's just communicating to the teacher. And I would say I'm on good terms with him too, because he knows me and I took his class seriously last semester. So, it's not like I'm half-assing this. I'm testing this the day before. So it's not like I'm doing not much. So I'm overthinking it as always, but it's more are you explaining the ideas and then are you responding to them? So I guess I can talk about the relativism, and because I took his class last year, that's not going to be too strange. Equal in potential. Yeah, that's true. Only some people are going to overcome their struggle. What is this? Oh, we got a Russian in here. Are you still here, man? What's that image of the guy? Yo, good call. Thank you, man. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. These are true fans. You guys are getting me through this assignment. What more could I ask for, honestly? How do I do the background? Oh, am I messing up here? Isn't one of these background? Yeah, I want to insert an image. Okay, but isn't there... Am I having a boomer moment? Isn't there... Oh, there. Yeah, there it is. Was it right there in front of me? Oh, man. All right. This is kind of not necessary. Yeah, see, hold on. Let me fix this. Let me fix it. So, what's going to be like a... That doesn't look too good. This is not what I should be focusing on. Can I make it transparent? Isn't that one of the options? Okay, let's... There's a way to do that, right? Am I going to have another boomer moment? No, don't do that. No, wait. No, I don't want that. No. Don't do that for all the slides. I just wanted it for this one. Okay, I am having a boomer moment. Can you just undo this, man? Can we just reset this? Okay, here, let me just go back. Let me... See, this is the problem. Oh, okay. So I can just leave it at that. But I kind of want to make it transparent. What's the deal, man? Bro, are you serious? Okay, we gotta... Yeah, don't be posting that stuff in the comments. What's wrong with you, man? No, infantry. Sorry, I didn't want to... I was trying to choose my words carefully. I didn't say you were telling me that. I was just trying to... I just want the teacher to know that I'm not doing that. No, I hear you. Sometimes I would do low effort too. I'm trying to graduate from that. Man, why am I still trying to... How about that? Is that gonna... I'll just can I do this? Shrink it a little. Is that gonna look cringe? Wow. This isn't looking the way I thought it was gonna look. I thought I was just gonna be able to do a quick... Yeah, my bad, infantry. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth. This is what is... Okay, can I just move it? Oh, I'm moving the wrong thing. Oh my goodness. Folks. What is happening? You know what, man? Maybe we should just not. Okay, well that's not okay. We'll fix that later. Let me go through Leviathan one more time because I didn't really have that many quotes from it. See, look at this, man. This teacher's giving me 17th century philosophy. He's He's just making it part of the curriculum. Look at this, man. Look at this. So, the right of nature, which writers come. Okay. Okay, I can use this. Does this look familiar? You know, skimming, and then oh yeah, this looks pretty good. No, but I mean, I'm getting the ideas, so it's not like. That's too much. I didn't mean to nut this part. So I'll just do like 2 more, and then we can do another test. Okay, thank you, big brain. Thank you. I need to get more organized with that. That was like, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. See, that's why is it okay? Just move it. Just move it like that. Okay, that's not too bad. Can we just? No, not like that. See, it's gonna be out of frame. That's the thing. Can we? If only there was a way to like shrink it without. No, that's. I can box this over there. Anyways, we'll get to that. That's not. All right. Let's get some more citations. Right is laid aside. Okay. I can cite this just because. I mean, that's going to be. And by the way, I don't know if people don't do this as a tip, but like you copy and paste something, you paste it up at the top in the search bar so that you don't. Because if I were to just paste this in a doc, it wouldn't look. It would look the way it does, and it would be out of whack with the other words. So you got to paste it somewhere else, preferably probably a URL. And I don't know. That's just something. I don't know if anybody told me about that, but so anyways, so we can do that, and then let's do one more. Let's do one more, do a test, and then we can wrap up here. Oh, we don't need that. What's over here? Okay. I think. Okay. Why isn't it? Okay. I'll be able to kind of cite this in my test if I can remember to do it correctly. We'll see. All right. I think that's pretty good. So it's not that many slides, but we're getting the ideas. And then we'll get the themes down here. That's what that'll be. So oh really? So I'm having another boomer moment, you're saying? I didn't know Microsoft. I don't know if I even knew about that. Good if the citation stood out for the normal points, maybe try a different font size. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I am kind of. Oh, what did I just do? Here, let me. Okay, sorry, that probably looked a little strange. All right, we're gonna. Let me see what we got here. I'm gonna do my test for those of you watching right now. I'm gonna sort of reenact what my recorded take is gonna be that I'm gonna send to the teacher. Yeah, I should probably break them up. Nah, you're right, infantry. It's pretty unorthodox. All right, so in about like 15 seconds here, I'm gonna start it because I'm trying to time it, and I want it to start on like an even number. So we'll do a test, see how this goes. All right, this is narrated by me. My section was Thomas Hobbes, specifically his two books, This and That. In the first text, he talks about the relationship between men and their community or society as a whole, whether that be the local community, the people that they work with and live with, or the relationship that they have with their government. The way that he defines society is bound by a contract, more specifically the social contract, which can be explained in a number of examples. One of them, as a quote, he talks about that no society, he said the incentive for a contract is because no society can be great or lasting, which begins from vain glory. And for they consider, okay, maybe I won't use that one. I could use this one. Civil societies are not mere meetings, but bonds to making whereof faith and compacts are necessary. So I'll use that one instead. And then I'll switch back and say another premise for men being loyal to the contract is because all men, under Hobbes' definition, are equal in a number of different ways. One of the ways that they are equal is Hobbes has a very pessimistic view. He sort of views them in the same way that he does of animals fighting for survival of the fittest. And one of the ways that he describes men is being more interested in vain glory than the good of the people. And he says that no society can be great or lasting, which begins from vainglory, because that glory is like honor, and if all men have it, then no man hath it, for they consist in comparison and in that. And then I can also say one of the obstacles of man is that man typically has a selfish appetite that many will not overcome. And he likens it, wrong slide, he likens it to lust and says that lust of men do daily threaten each other. So in that book, he emphasizes more specifically the contract itself and its relationship between community members and the government as a whole. In Leviathan, he gets a little more intimate with man himself, where he describes that all men are equal because they all share desire, fear, and hope. And if we break down man in terms of body and mind, we can see that all men basically, overall, generally speaking, strive for the same things. And so we can sort of measure most men, since we're talking about large groups, based on their wants and needs. So the social aspect of society is often neglected because men are pursuing their own interests and not looking for the greater community. In one quote, he also emphasizes the social contract in Leviathan, talking about the mutual transferring of right is that which men can call contract. And the pessimistic mindset from the first text is also present in the second, where he says that private appetite is the measure of good and evil, and consequently all men can agree on this, that peace is good. So the other aspect that men are sort of in the same boat with one another is the fact that not only do they have the same shortcomings, but they also have the same advantages. So things like liking peace, mercy, he also talks about modesty, things like that sort of prove that Hobbes, when he talks about equality, can unite people together. I should write that down too. Unite. Okay. So, and then I'll say the themes throughout both of the books or texts is defining man in his natural state, likening him to animals, and how he's sort of this go-getter, whether it's at work or by himself. He typically does not think about others, and as he should. He looks at society as a sort of cost-benefit dichotomy. He is not sort of thinking of, larger things that might be able to benefit him. The other thing that unifies people is fear, whether it's fear of the government, fear in their local community. These are things that motivate people and cause them to act in society. Although man is selfish, he is also self-preserving. So when he does things in his own interest, he is not just doing them out of selfishness. He's also sort of conserving. I don't know how I'm going to say that. Something. Man, hopefully I don't say that. Social control. the social contract also applies to everyone. So there's not many exceptions. And so because it applies to everyone, it's sort of the opposite of relativism. He is sort of putting everybody under one standard and everyone has to live up to it. Okay, that's way over 5 minutes, isn't it? When did I even start? I don't even remember. That was like 15 minutes, wasn't? Oh my goodness. Yo, bass guitarist in chat, let's go. Walking in on the middle of my college homework, let's go. Instead of going back and forth between the sides, we'll just put another copy of the slide. Probably. That is interesting. Some of the rule of thumb I use is that I don't want more than 4 points, citations, and pictures. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Was that like way too long? I kind of want to do it one more time. My phone was also distracting me. Oh, no. Oh, okay, no, this is not. Okay. Yeah, we'll try that again. How long was that, guys? That was... Oh, big brain content. Are you suggesting something? Do I move? Can you tell? Am I moving like that? Yo, bass guitarist. I don't know, man. Do you work on the single or do you work on... I don't know, man. I don't know what's more important. My homework's on the line here, man. I'm gonna need some help. Oh man, big brain content. You're making me feel a little embarrassed. Is that is it that? Is it the laugh? Is it the laughing? Tell me specifically what it is. Maybe it's a Zoomer thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's because of watching so many people. That's pretty funny. If the time was 5 to 10 minutes, I think it was fine. Okay, I forgot when I started. That's the thing. All right, I'll do it again. Hopefully I don't brain fog again. That was a little... Hey, who's saying it? Is it agitated? Agitated Irishman. What specifically... Can you narrow down what I was doing that made you think of that by any chance? Was it the laughing? Is it the hand motions or is it the delivery? That's pretty funny. My identity has been stolen. Oh man, that's pretty funny. We'll continue in a second here. I just thought that was notable. Some of the speech mannerism, pitch control of some words. Oh man, is it real? See, I think I'm doing it right now. I just want to talk to you guys. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try and be normal. Oh man. That's pretty funny. Anyways, you should watch him, Infantry. You should check it out. I think you'd be interested. All right, we'll start right now. We'll do another test. It's 120, okay? So I won't forget. Yo, hold on a second. Is that Thomas? Hey, he's breaking down to terminal learning objects. Yo, break it down. Yo, that's a pretty academic answer. I'm pretty overwhelmed, to be honest. I just have to present. That's pretty funny. I just have to present these two Thomas Hobbes texts. Okay, I thought you were Thomas for a second. That's the thing. Um, oh, that was 9 minutes. Okay, well, no, that's fine. I don't think he'll be upset about that. I have to present. I have to explain these two Thomas Hobbes texts, and then I guess kind of respond to it. I don't know. Just talking about them takes up a lot of the time. I can mention at the end though that that can kind of be the thing that's a little not so much focused on. So, all right, here we'll start. We'll start at 122. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I thought it was about music. What's with all the polemics? Yeah, it started as a music channel and then it turned into philosophy and yeah, who would have thought? Nah, man, I think you should stick by though. I'm going to be doing streams. I see a lot of familiar names, so it sounds like you guys are interested. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Yeah, it is about to be about music again. You're right, bass guitarist. You're going to bring me back. You and me, buddy. All right, here. We'll start this again. 122. Here we go. So, this is narrated by me, and I'm responding to Thomas Hobbes's these two texts. So in the first text, he describes the relationship between men and community, and also the community and the state. And so he breaks this down in a number of different ways and defines it as society. Society is bound by a contract, more specifically, a social contract. One of the quotes from the text, he says, civil societies are not mere meetings, but bonds, to the making whereof faith and compacts are necessary. So this is how he defines people's roles in society as being loyal to this contract. He also breaks down what it means to be man and how that plays a role in society as well. He talks about equality. More specifically, he says that men have advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages is that men are often selfish, and he sort of describes it in the same way as the animal kingdom and the survival of the fittest. Many men have selfish appetites that many will fail to overcome, and they're also very competitive in a sort of animalistic nature. He describes the appetite as lusts of men that will do daily, that will threaten people daily, each other. And so he breaks down a lot of the society, the contract aspect within society between man and the government. These themes continue with Leviathan, where he gets more descriptive, talking about man. He says that he continues the equality theme by saying that all men are equal because they all have desire, fear, and hope. And these are the things that unify man. He also breaks down man as between body and mind. And because men won't have the same wants and impulses, that is the social aspect of society. He is, whether he is going to work or following the rules of the government, that is the ecosystem of the society. And he also describes the social contract in concrete terms, saying the mutual transferring of right is that which man can call contract. And oh man, what else? I'm losing my my flow here. What else could I say? He also talks about man as he talks about men's appetites again by talking about moral philosophy at the end of Leviathan, where he says that private appetite is the measure of good and evil, and consequently all men agree on this, that peace is good. So although he's pessimistic about the shortcomings of man, there is also a lot of things that unify them, including having the same values, appreciating things like peace, anti-war, mercy. He also talks about modesty in Leviathan. And so these are the things that make man strive for things including liberty. And so society is not just reduced to authoritarian aspects. There is also a community aspect. Some of the themes throughout both of the texts is looking at man in his natural state, comparing him to a very primitive nature. I got to write that down. He is also looking at society in a cost-benefit dichotomy, so not looking at the greater good when he should. Man is also driven by fear, whether it's fear of the government or fear of others in their local community. That is a motivating factor. Although man is also selfish, he is also, don't say also twice, man is also self-preserving. So it's almost a mechanism that he cares more about himself. I'll come up with something. And the social contract mentioned in both texts also applies to everyone. And so that continues his theme of equality. Although the fact that everybody is equal means also plays into the philosophy of relativism. And so if most people agree not to conflict with one another, then everything works. If people choose to step outside the social contract, then that's going to create problems in society. And so those are some flaws with Hobbes' framework. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that only 4 minutes? How long was that? That was like 5 minutes, like almost on the dot. Man, did I go faster that time? I don't know. How did that sound, guys? Any feedback? Man, I'm going to have to slow down, I guess. Am I talking really fast? That's the other thing I'm not really taking into account. Maybe because I kind of got lost in this one. See, the last slide really brings everything, really summarizes everything. So I can change this to themes. So hold on, primitive. Man is just social contract between everyone. Man. There's also only one slide for Leviathan. I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know. I have 3 quotes. I didn't use this quote because I didn't know where to fit it. To lay down a man's right to anything is differs. Is to divest himself of the liberty. Oh, okay. Well, I can kind of use that towards the end. I can go back. Okay. Oh, man. It was great. You seem to understand what you are presenting. An old company commander of mine once told me, you should aim to reduce your presentation to bullet points. Yeah, I know. That's kind of the thing. The Leviathan slide is... okay. So I can have 2 slides. I can just split it up. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you. That's a good point. And instead of... yeah. Let me take this. Thank you, man. That's a good idea. I also feel like I'm repeating things. That's the other thing. We'll see. We'll see. We'll go again. We'll go again. I'll add some more later on. I'll title it too. So whoops. Am I doing that right? Okay. Yeah, I'll add some more context. I just wanted to, this is just a rough draft. I'm a lot more confident now after you guys helped me. Just talk slow. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. All right, all right. That's pretty funny, bass guitarist. I'm gonna try to not talk fast. I don't know if I can because I'm so locked in my. I'm gonna have to try. Let me see what that does. Big brain content. This is funny. A couple of times preparing for presentations the night before, I practiced the speech in my dream. It is possible. Give it a try. Man, that's interesting. Yeah, the night before prep is very cool. In community college, I did that a lot. I've only given one speech at my university. I want to, maybe I should talk differently this time so that there's contrast. All right, what's the top of the, all right, so we'll start at 1:34, top of the hour. And I will talk not as fast. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know, man. It doesn't, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. All right. Okay, I will be presenting Thomas Hobbes in his two texts. Then I'll say in the first text, he talks about the relationship between men and their community, and the community as a whole compared to the government, and how this will create what he defines as society. And society is bound by a contract, more specifically the social contract, which he defines in this text as civil society, or whoops, it's actually down here. She defines in Leviathan. That's awkward. I'm not going to do that. Okay, anyways. And he says that civil societies are not mere meetings, but bonds to the making whereof faith and compacts are necessary. One of the things that allows the social contract to exist is the idea that everyone is a part of it. So all men, and specifically men, are equal. And the way that he describes equality is the fact that most men are self-centered and will only get out of society what they can gain, and what he calls vainglory. More specifically, he says No society can be great or lasting which begins from vainglory, because that glory is like honor. If all men have it, no man have it, for they consist in comparison and precedence. And so he talks about man in a similar way as the animal kingdom and the survival of the fittest, and how men have an appetite similar to a primitive nature, which he likens to lust. And he says that men do daily threaten each other with that lust. He also emphasizes in this text the competitive nature of society, whether it is through the economy or under the rule of a government. It is sort of a cutthroat society where men are working for their own interests, but not for the interests of the greater good of the society. That's, I want that to make the final cut. In Leviathan, so in that text, he mainly sums up the contract in terms of the community. In Leviathan, he gets more descriptive, talking about man as an individual, I guess. A man as part of a familiar collective. One of the things that unites men is they all have desire, fear, and hope. He also breaks down men as body and mind, that all have similar wants and needs as well as disadvantages. Because his disadvantages weaken him in many aspects, he describes this in moral philosophical terms, saying that his private appetite is the measure of good and evil, and consequently all men can agree on this, that peace is good. So although men are also selfish, the other thing that unites them is they all have positive values, including peace, anti-war, civility. He lists honor mentioned earlier in the first text, and modesty. And so that is the social aspect of the social contract, as well as the social aspect of society. Other things that men value is liberty. I don't know what else to say. So the themes throughout both texts is man in his natural state, which he likens to a very primitive nature. Men see society in a cost-benefit dichotomy rather than the greater good of the society. They are also united under fear, whether it's fear of the government or fear of their neighbors competing against one another. Although they are selfish, they are also self-preserving. So man by himself may be a very successful, autonomous person. However, if we were to judge him on a community basis, he may be too by himself compared to, and not see himself as part of the collective. With these advantages and disadvantages in man, that means that man must be loyal to the social contract as a collective if it were to work out. However, there is a lot of potential flaws in this because many people do not obey the social contract. And if man is as selfish as Thomas Hobbes describes, then that would mean that what would be relative to one person may contradict with another. And he also describes that dynamic in Leviathan and how this can disrupt the social contract. And so that's one of the shortcomings with his framework. Okay, that was a lot better. I'm going to have to rewatch this example specifically because I think that's how I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to do it. Wow. Yeah, thank you, infantry. Yeah, that's true, agitated Irishman. Oh man. Okay, I feel a lot more confident now. The presentation itself is a little all over the place. I can fix it up, but best one yet, clearly? Really? Wow. Thank you, Infantry. Thank you. I'll have to rewatch the other ones. I bet I was talking really fast. I'll have to compare and contrast. That's pretty funny. Thank you, guys. Thank you. No, this was very helpful, honestly. I didn't know how this was going to look. I thought it was just going to be very boring. Maybe it is, but I think you guys appreciate it more than some people. That's pretty funny to see. So it looks like the comments do work. I'm able to see a lot of your guys' stuff. I can sort of stop sharing screens and kind of do some segments depending on the stream. Yeah, because I can see all your guys' stuff, and it doesn't look like the StreamYards cuts anything off. So that's good to know. All right, all right. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. Well, I appreciate you guys. This was yet another unexpected stream. Get a second monitor. I know, man. That's kind of what I want. Here, let me stop sharing screen so I can see how this looks. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It's also a Chad move to just kind of, you know, it's like I have no shortage of resources. See, now I'm all talked out. By the time I send this to my teacher, he's going to be thinking I already gave the speech. So, what else we got? Go full nerd and have 3 screens. Yeah, that's like gamer mode. The second monitor is great. I'm sure. Yeah, that would be helpful. Using a PC with 1 monitor. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I think we'll wrap up. You guys honestly did help me a lot. Thank you guys. Thank each and every one of you. Big brain content, infantry, bass guitarist, agitated Irishman. This is something different than this is a very specific favor you guys are doing. I mean, you're helping me on a personal level, honestly. So I do appreciate. It's a bit of a different stream. I'll continue the Twitter idea that I talked about last stream, responding to people's threads and turning that into a stream. I'll probably do that this weekend. I also started my Substack this week. I was curious if you guys saw that. I might be able to do that next stream. I don't know. If depends on what the audience is. I don't know. If I can't find a Twitter thread to react to, that'll probably be the backup plan. So that'll probably be this weekend. It's during the week, so viewership's a little bit different. There's a bit of a different vibe. The titles didn't help me out. I probably should have did a clickbait title for my own self-interest, talking about self-interest. Yeah, I think most Zoomers, I think this is the laptop generation. Interesting. What else? What else was I gonna say? I think that's all I got, honestly. Yeah. testing out StreamYard was my voice. Can you hear that? My StreamYard does show me all the comments, it looks like. So there was so much the last one. I missed some. I don't think I even got all of them. So that's because I was looking at YouTube, you know. But I mean, it was just different. You know, I think the weekends you guys are more privy to that stuff. But yeah, man, I can't wait for me and bass guitarist. We're gonna do a video. Another, you know. Well, he's a millennial, right? So I guess that's not a Zoomer crossover. Like with Paul, this is man, we really do have all the generations. We got Thomas, we got bass guitarist Paul. This is a generational show we got here. We really got all the perspectives. Interesting. So I think I'm gonna call it. I think you guys helped me out. I thank you guys again. That's a favor that I don't really ask. Wouldn't normally ask. Looks like we got a lot of suggestions on the monitors. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I kind of have the music setup is kind of dominating everything, so I don't even know how would we do that hypothetically. That's interesting. I also want to review Thomas's book. That's the other thing. I think I could get a good video for you guys. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just kind of thinking out loud now, but millennial Zoomer crossover? Maybe, man. Yeah, maybe. There's probably some overlap. All right. Thank you guys once again. Big brain content. Infantry, bass guitarist, agitated Irishman. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting everybody. I'm just looking at my StreamYard comment section, but thank you guys for contributing to this. You're helping me get a good grade. I encourage people to go to college. I know we sort of make fun of it, but there's some good content. There's some good stuff you could get out of it. So that's my pitch. That's normalizing academia, whereas other people would rather stick their nose up at it. So thank you once again. Thank you for all the good times here tonight. Impromptu stream for most of you guys probably. I'll probably be back this weekend, so you guys won't have to wait too long. But thank you guys once again. 07 bass guitarist, later agitated Irishman. Let's see, infantry. All righty. Thank you guys once again. And big brain content. Thank you. I'll see you. See you guys next time.